Okay, this next video is entitled The First New Deal. With the First New Deal that Roosevelt put out in his first 100 days, it began March 9th and June 16th, 1933. Roosevelt sent many bills to Congress. Congress passed 15 major acts to help the economic crisis at this time. These programs were made up of the First New Deal, of course. To generate new ideas and New Deal programs, Roosevelt put together a group of advisors from anywhere from academia, business world, agriculture, government law, everything to try to help end the crisis. Roosevelt's advisors were divided into three main groups. You had the first group, which supported new nationalism of Theodore Roosevelt and believed government and business should work together. My gosh, I can't talk this morning. Should manage the economy. The second group distrusted big business and wanted government planners to run key parts of the economy. And then the third group finally supported the new freedom of Woodrow Wilson and felt it was the government's responsibility to restore competition to the economy. Okay, so how are they going to do all this? First thing they wanted to do was fix the banks and the stock market. Roosevelt takes office. He knew the first thing he wanted to do was restore confidence in the banking system. If you don't have confidence in the banking system, you don't have a lot. He called a national bank holiday and called Congress in a special session. Congress then passed the Emergency Banking Relief Act, which required federal examiners to survey the nation's banks and issue Treasury Department licenses to financially sound banks. In Roosevelt's first fireside chat, where he spoke on the radio directly to the people, he assured Americans that the banks were now secure. The following day, deposits in every city outweighed withdrawals, ending the banking crisis. New regulations for banks and the stock market were implemented with the Securities Act of 1933 and the Glass-Steagall Banking Act. Under the Securities Act of 1933, companies that sold stocks and bonds had to provide complete and truthful information to their investors. The SEC was created to regulate the stock market and prevent fraud. The SEC is still around today. The Glass-Steagall Act separated commercial banking from investment banking. Now, that has changed in our time. Now, with this act, though, it no longer allowed depositors' money to be risked by speculating on the stock market. The act also created the FDC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, that provided government insurance for bank amounts up to a certain amount. I think it was $100,000 at the time. Okay, we also have a farming crisis going on at the same time. So Roosevelt asked Congress to pass the Agricultural Adjustment Act, which was the AAA, a plan that paid farmers not to raise certain crops to lower crop production. The act was administered by the AAA. While the plan reduced production, increased prices, and helped some farmers, thousands of tenant farmers were unemployed and homeless because of this. Large commercial farmers who raised one crop profited more than small farmers who raised several products. The National Industrial Recovery Act, or NERA, suspended antitrust laws and allowed business, labor, and government to cooperate in setting up voluntary rules. These were known as codes of fair competition for each industry. The program was run by the NRA, National Recovery Administration, and it urged consumers to buy only from companies who signed agreements with the NRA. Gains of the NRA were short-lived and actually caused industrial production to fall, so it didn't work as the way they wanted to, and it was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court in 1935. Okay, next they wanted to provide some debt relief. So several policies were introduced by Roosevelt to deal with this problem. The Homeowners Loan Corporation, or HOLC, bought the mortgages of homeowners behind on payments and restructured them with longer terms of repayment and lower interest rates. The HOLC gave loans only to those who were employed. It foreclosed on property if payment could not be made. The result was 100,000 foreclosures. However, the HOLC refinanced 1 out of every 5 mortgages in the United States. The Farm Credit Administration, or the FCA, was established to help farmers refinance their mortgages as well. While the FCA loans helped many farmers in the short term, the loans may have actually slowed overall economic recovery by giving money to poor, inefficient farmers instead of to businesses. Okay, spending and relief programs. Roosevelt supported a series of government agencies to begin work programs for the unemployed. You had the Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC, which gave unemployed men aged 18 to 25 the opportunity to work with the National Forestry Service, planting trees, fighting forest fires, and building reservoirs. By the time it closed in 1942, the CCC had employed over 3 million men at this time. The Federal Emergency Relief Administration, or FERA, was created to channel money to help state and local agencies fund relief projects. In 1933, Congress authorized the the Public Works Administration to begin a series of construction projects creating additional jobs. And then the Harry Hopkins, the head of FERA, set up the Civil Works Administration, or the CWA, which hired workers directly and put them on the government's payroll. It's a nice little alphabet soup we got going on here, don't we? Okay. It was shut down when Roosevelt became fearful of the amount of money spent on the program. The most important aspect of Roosevelt's New Deal was the change in the spirit of the American people. Okay, people became hopeful and optimistic, and their faith in America was restored because of everything he was doing, whether it worked or it didn't work. Okay, that concludes our second in our series of 4 on the New Deal here videos. Make sure you watch you complete the Edmodo quizzes that'll be associated with this. This will be a little longer quiz. There's a few more sections. But it will be good for you. Okay, thank you, and bye.